wasn't a big man. He only had a few rocks in his hand. But he knew, yeah, he knew what he could do, yeah. So when Goliath came toward him, he put on that brave, bright grin, and he let that snake shot do what it was made to do. Show him that you're not afraid. Show him that you're not afraid. When worries try to fight you, don't let them get in the way. Show him that you're not afraid. Show him that you're not afraid. No matter what you go through, come on and be brave. Show him that you're not. Show him, show him. We've all got bullies and bowlfuls. They show up and they push and they pull. And we hide and we cry, but we should realize that courage comes when we choose it. When we decide we just won't quit. Yeah, I know you can do it. Get to it. Show them that you're not afraid. Show them that you're not afraid. When worries try to fight you, don't let them get in the way. Show them that you're not afraid. Show them that you're not afraid. No matter what you go through, come on and be brave. Show them that you're not. Oh, show them, show them. Just like David did. I know you can find courage, courage within. Just like David did. I know you can. Show them that you're not afraid. Show them that you're not afraid. When worries try to fight you, don't let them get in the way. Oh, show them that you're not afraid. Show them that you're not afraid. No matter what you go through, come on and be brave. Show them that you're not. Yeah, show them, show them. Just show them, show them. Show them, show them. Just like David. I know you can. Show them, show them.
All right, Kinsman, we had a real tough day when we got the call from Fullbeard, didn't we?
Yeah,
Real start.
we were asked to be not glove models, not face
No.
models, but back of the head models for their
Right.
brand new brew today. Better Days is now
Oh, look.
launched. It's hard to see on the green screen, but cool can and a very
Look at my
tasty
green screen, too.
new lager.
Hey, listen,
that, Coldbeard launched just today.
that
at
made my
lunchtime.
green screen go all wild, Kinsman. Look at it.
Is that wild? Well, it's
It made my
better
green screen go all blue.
there it
you
is.
go. Yeah. But anyways,
Full Beard launched a new. It's an American lager ale, 3.5%. So if you're a fan of, let's say, the Michelob types that like the Michelob or the Coors Light type beer, the light beer, this I'm gonna say this is now one of my new favorites. Better Days. And this goes alongside with the 705.
okay, so it's very simple. A lot of people go into Full Beard and say, "You got anything that tastes like a Coors Light?" And so what they do is they made something that tastes like a Coors Light. Pretty simple, pal.
Yeah, and the Michelob, like the lights, Ultra Michelob lights. So if you're a fan of them, and they say, well, wonder if Full Beard has it. Well, now they do. It's called Better Days.
Yeah, Better Days, cool can. And it's our, now we have two favorites, of course, because we still have our own beer there.
That's right. Our 705 blonde ale beers from Full Beard, our Kins and Klomp Live can, and you'll see those May 6th. When we're looking forward to Rosewood Avenue and that performance, which there's still tickets. The tickets are winding down. So if you haven't got a ticket for that, make sure you do. And, stop in and get one.
Okay. So now listen, we're going to chat here with four brave souls that I they probably love Full Beard, but I don't think they're having any.
No, they're not prepping for after the Boston Marathon, drinking Better Days, maybe beers after the marathon, but for the lead up, probably not.
If I'm in the Boston Marathon, I'm bringing a 6 with me in a backpack thinking, why I'm an idiot running the Boston Marathon. But these guys are trained to do this. I'm just talking about us. We're not trained to. We could be like a food vendor at the Boston Marathon. That's more our
so we'd be selling hot dogs midway for the ones who bail out. There's 18. There's like 18,000 plus. Last year, there was like 18,005 that signed up for the marathon. All right, and these four crazy nuts are signing up for this weekend.
Well, listen, they're awesome athletes in the city. So I'm ready to bring them all on. Are you ready or what?
I hope so. I think this is going to fill our screen to the max here. Let's see if we can bring them all on.
All right. All right, we got a full crew here, Kinsman.
Crew, hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good. We don't normally have these many friends.
We're very popular tonight.
Yeah,
and we just wanted to see it's a little bit better. It's funny. After it was the Carly episode, we had Carly LaFive on with her Movementum. We've had we're trying to stay into the fit mode. So we just bring fit guests on to make it look like we're fit.
Right.
It's a good strategy.
By proxy. Now, I want to know, we want to chat with everyone individually, but, I have some hardcore runners in my family. Like, you'll see them on Christmas Eve, 10 p.m., minus 46, full face shield, Santa beard from the ice. Which one? Is it Darcy? Is it Mark? Is it Corey? Or is it Danny? Who's that person of this group?
Corey,
this guy.
It's Corey, right?
I'd have to say I am. Yeah. I'm the one who's running around in minus 50 weather.
Right. Well. Let's start with Corey then, because obviously we know you're all passionate, obviously, to be competing in the Boston Marathon. So congratulations. And now for Corey, did your love of running is this something relatively new for you, or you've always been an athletic type throughout your whole life?
Well, running itself is pretty new to me. I only started running in 2018. I spent most of my life playing hockey, though, so I was always fairly athletic. But as far as running goes, I always felt like running was, a little bit of a dumb endeavor until I started doing it more religiously, and I started committing to it. And then I could start to see what people enjoyed about it.
Now, you're a hockey fan, so let me ask you a question. Are you a Leaf fan?
Yeah, that's right. Don't tell any of these guys that.
This is our year. We've been rebuilding since '67.
Kinsman, you knocked it off. Listen, do not go into the Boston Marathon with the Leaf mentality, because mile 2 you'll be winning, and then mile 6 you're quitting.
And we all know what happened with Toronto and Boston in that one series, right? If you can go back to Boston, we don't have good memories with Boston.
No, I'm trying to keep that out of my mind for the race, at least the next few days anyways.
I love the mile 6 analogy, though, because there's still another 20 miles after, so it kind of really describes it well.
Yeah, it's like a first round knockout, in game 7. But I'm sure Corey's gonna do a lot better than the Leafs. I even say this year they're out the first round, but I'm just jealous because I'm a Senators fan and we've been out since October the 3rd. So you know. That how it goes. Now, for Mark, I've known Mark for a while. We worked together at the college, and I know you've always been passionate at running. So, Mark, this is not your first Boston Marathon, is it?
It is. It is my
Oh.
first Boston Marathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, so walk me through it. Like if you're for you, Mark, if you're an avid runner and you want to compete on a pretty real high stage, Boston Marathon's probably the premier of all premier events.
Yeah.
Do you start at smaller races like a 5 mile or a 10 mile, or could you just train for X amount of time to compete in a marathon? What's the best mentality?
Well, you know what? Everybody's a little different, but I know folks that have run. They've gone out running and haven't really done many races and decided to run marathons. And actually, maybe Corey is one of these guys. I'm not sure, but but in all honesty, typically a runner will build up. They'll start with. Actually, we've seen people start with a walk to run type program, and then they'll do their first 5K. We hosted a running training program a couple of years back, and one of the ladies was using that as a stepping stone to do her 10K. And later that year, she had trained up to do a half marathon. So really exciting times for this lady when she was doing it. And it was really exciting for us to sort of see that transformation as she was going through. But I would say the majority of the folks, that's what they'll do. They'll start with the smaller races, and then they get into the bigger races, and they get or the longer distance races, I should say. And they just, they start realizing, hey, this is pretty cool, and they start realizing that they can do it. And I think a lot of people have that fear where they think they can't run 10K, but in all honesty, you're not sprinting 10K, you're running it so you can go out at a comfortable pace, and you're not kind of killing yourself like the Leafs do in the playoffs. But anyways, really interesting. Oh, sorry, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah. Well, you made a great point, because there has to be some there is a strategy here, right? Obviously, your energy's going. I mean, you're very anxious for the race to start, but you can't go at I'll use a Mark Kinsman cliche here, a full pin your first mile. I'm sure, like when you train for the race, are you staggering like what your pace is going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what the build up to a marathon run is going through on a week to week basis. And you've got all these different types of runs. Hey, Lori. And you have all these different types of runs that will actually help, build that base that you require, so that you can really, when it comes time to run your 42K, your body is more apt to being able to handle it. So you do build up through your training program these longer runs. There's also a little bit of speed work in there. You'll do some hill training, and it's not just the running aspect of it, but you also have to look at the nutrition side and making sure that you're well rested and all that fun
and the
stuff.
breathing side, and I'm sure there's a lot of parameters involved with running, because it's not all straight. You're uphill.
Yeah.
I've been told, is it a hilly course? That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, it's Boston is actually overall Boston is a downhill course.
Okay.
But you go downhill at the start quite a bit, and then there's rolling hills, and then you hit some of the larger hills a little later. So that's the problem. People will tend to go a little too fast on the downhills and sort of kill their quads. And by the time they get to climbing the hills after, their legs are done. So they really have a hard time. But you train for that, and all four of us here are quite familiar with the Boston profile of the race, and I think we've all talked about what our strategies are going to be. So you got to save some in the tank for sure to do the hills at that particular moment. It's called Heartbreak Hill. Actually, that's the last one. But if you get to the top of Heartbreak Hill and you're feeling pretty good, man, you just gunner and you go. And I think the Brunet brothers and Corey are gonna freaking fly down that hill.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good question. When you guys all start, obviously it'd be nice to all stick together, but I guess at the start you're all trying to work at your own paces, and you probably won't even see each other. Or are you going to try to all stick together during the race and try and finish at the same time?
Well, you know what, Mark? That's the wrong question, because I want to ask Darcy this. So obviously this group is close. They're friends. I'm sure there's some training together. There's strategy together. But Darcy, you want to kick these guys' butts, right? You want to be first across the line.
I just want to get across the line.
Yeah, there we go.
But
That's the number one
think,
priority.
I think we'll all be like, it's hard in a marathon to like all run together, because it's such a long race. If you're just a little bit above your pace or below your pace, you're either not going to get your fastest time, or you're just going to burn yourself out too early, right? So I think Corey will be out in the lead in the front there, but Donnie and I we're pretty close. I think we'll try to stick together for a little while, and maybe even finish it together. It'd be nice to finish it together. So
It would be.
Well,
hang on. I'll let you go first, Jamie.
Yeah, well, like in NASCAR, they have something called drafting, right? Maybe you can, if Corey's leading the way, just tail behind him. Maybe you can save some energy.
Follow on his coattails.
I didn't want to tell him, but that's the plan.
At the last
minute.
Jump on his back. He can piggyback you across the line.
Yeah.
We didn't want to talk about that strategy because that's what it is, but now it's
right.
out in the open. So Corey, watch out.
Well,
Yeah, see, these guys like to talk as though I'm going to sit in the front and do all the work, but I don't think that's going to be the case on race day. If anybody's following any one of our trainings here, they'll see that these guys are fast, and really, you don't get into a marathon, like you don't qualify for the Boston Marathon without having some level of speed that you can tap into there. So like what Mark was talking about, like the preparation for a marathon, and the different types of runs that go into something like that, like you really are working at that fast pace, but also you're working at those more relaxed and comfortable paces that you can hold for longer efforts. And like everyone here on the screen here, and I'm sure you guys can do some of that as well, kids and club.
out of the gate for the first, maybe 100 meters, and then it all goes downhill from there.
There you go.
I used to be a fast sprinter, but not long distance. They used to call it the endurance run. I remember it was Canada Fitness. I don't know if they still do that in schools, but that's what we used to do. And when it came down time for the endurance run, everybody used to always cry. And then you'd always have, the folks like you guys always, pumped to run this endurance run, which would always kill all the mediocre folks.
The mediocre folks. Yeah, you still got that participation trophy there, Mark. Now, I have a question for Danny.
I did get the participation badge. Yeah,
that's where it was invented, I think. Yeah,
that's it.
I got a question for Danny. So, Darcy was bringing up a good point. So, not everyone who's an avid runner that wants to compete in the Boston Marathon can compete. There is a qualification process. So, can you walk us through like is it based? I assume it's based on time. How does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So, the qualification for Boston, it depends on your age and your gender. So there's different categories, and every category has a time limit. So for me, Darcy and Corey, our time, we needed to better the time of 3 hours and 5 minutes to qualify. And every year, Boston, there's always like a lot of people that want to go run the marathon because it's such a prestige marathon that even if you do beat that 3:05 or the time necessary for your category, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go. So there's Boston qualifiers all over the world. And then when the time comes, then you have to apply and get in. And then it could be 5 minutes faster, or it could be a minute faster every year, depends. But definitely you have to hit that time limit. So it's a very hard marathon to get in because there's no lottery. You can't just, like the other major marathons, you can put your name in a draw and go in that way. But this one here, you actually have to be fast and qualify.
Wow.
Right.
So looking at last year's stats, there's like 18,000 people. So all 18,000 have to submit a time. How do you do that without? How do you verify it? How do they verify that you're not
so
cheating?
There's more like 30,000. So on September, I forget the date, but on the date you have to submit your qualification time from a prior marathon within that year, and then they review every single applicant. And then they accept people. There's also, I forgot to mention, there's also a limited amount of spots for charity runners. Yeah. So the majority of the runners in Boston go in through qualifying time, but there's also some spots where people raise thousands of dollars and get to run afterwards.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
you guys have a
and-
chance if you raise lots of money.
there we go. Okay.
And just as a point of clarification, there, what like Danny was saying, Kinsey, you were saying that how there's 18,000 people at last race. Last race was a reduced field
Yeah.
because of
COVID.
COVID restricted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this year we're back to a full field with 30,000 people running.
Wow.
So those are 30,000 qualifiers and charity runners as well.
Right. Okay. So that makes me a good point. So I'm going to ask this to Darcy. So we watch it on TV, and when that gun goes off, like there is a cluster of people. Like what's the strategy here not to trip on someone? Like what it looks like it's wild. Like the first couple minutes, everyone, maybe the first 15, everyone's just like, you know, with that, is there a strategy there just not to get stomped on?
Well, if there is a strategy, I don't really know about it, but no, they do a really good job in setting people up with their qualifying times in different waves and corals. So you're not going to go there with a 4-hour qualifying time and then be in the front and everyone's trying to pass you, right? So you'll have the elite pros go out at first and then kind of go like from fastest to slowest, right? So you should be around people that are going about the same speed as you. So I would hope that you're not getting trampled on and, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a huge field.
When you start, so like when the gun goes off,
Yeah.
your time doesn't start until you're in your bib, you have a chip. So when you pass the starting line, that's when your official time will start.
Yeah.
So if you're all the way in the back, you're not losing like 10 minutes because of the other guys taking off, right?
That's a great, because I was always wondering. I'm like, well, the guy who's like 18,004, I thought he's like 20 minutes behind already. Right? It's all chip. It's 2022, so obviously we have chips, and we are.
It used to be like that though. It didn't used to be like that. People would race Boston, and because they started at the back, they would say, "Yeah, I ran this at Boston, but I lost 10 minutes running from the back of the field."
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so we have a question. We'll ask this to Mark. What is your eating regime? The day of the race. I love that question. Yeah.
Like, are you talking before the race or after the race? Because those are two different things.
Yeah. No, I know. After the race, I get that, but I'm thinking like walk us through the couple days before, and then like the day of the race.
Yeah. So for me, like this is going to be my 14th marathon. So I've had the opportunity to practice this on numerous occasions. Typically a couple of days before. I mean, I'll do a little bit of carb loading and stuff, but I do a lot of beans, legumes, that kind of stuff in my meals the week prior. The morning of, typically what I do is I wake up a couple of hours before the marathon, and I'll have actually one of my favorite grains is farro. So I'll have like a bowl of farro with some fruits and stuff. So I start adding this to my system. And I'll also have electrolytes during my morning before the race. There's also gels that we'll normally take as well. I normally take a gel prior to starting, and then I'll take 3 or perhaps 4 gels during the run as well. It all depends on what the conditions are like. Mm-hmm. If it's a very hot, warm, sunny day, well, then you're drinking a lot more liquids on your way through. If it's cool and you're kind of shaded, then I mean you don't overeat too much. So I tend to not drink as much. In fact, I normally train when I train and I do my long runs. I don't drink that much. Not that that's a strategy everybody should use, but for myself, I just allow my body to sort of get used to feeling a little bit of thirsty as well and doing these things there. So on the mental side, I'm ready on that side too. But typically, I just grains, whole foods. That's kind of what I feed on prior to the race, and I find it gives me the energies that I need to get through the race with the extra gels. And then after the race, it's raise your glass again. There, that's exactly. I'll have a
There
couple
it
of
is.
those.
Great. Well, we definitely want to, maybe we'll ask Darcy. Like, I assume we're all guys. We like to have a celebrate once we've accomplished something. Well, women, everyone loves to do that. Have you guys discussed a post race celebration? Does everyone go out for a beer, or like do you guys go for a nice dinner, or what's sort of the strategy?
Definitely a few beer. There's a post race party at Fenway Park.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we got our tickets already. We're gonna check that out. Probably be pretty jam packed there too. But have a few beer there and try to stand around, not fall down from the legs being that sore. But
I don't know if you know this, Darcy and Danny, but and Corey actually, but usually there's dancing happening, at the post race party and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you'll have you'll
might
be able
get
to
a-
loosen up your legs real quick.
Second win.
Yeah. I don't know. So Corey, like when you run this race, are you running them with like AirPods in, or do you just or people don't do that? Like, is there music to motivate you? Like,
You can, and I think the three of us have different views on that, but everybody's very individual. Myself, I like to have music in my ears when I run, so I'd like to keep myself motivated that way, or distracted, whichever.
What are you listening to? What's in the Boston Marathon playlist for you?
Well, definitely a few Dropkick Murphys albums
There you go.
on the way, so that'll be great. But I don't know. I listen to a lot of punk rock, so probably some Authority Zero and some Less Than Jake, something along those lines.
yeah, I like it.
And
Well,
with
yeah,
a million spectators, you won't even have time to listen to that music. You'll just be hearing the crowd.
Yeah, the Scream Tunnel in Wellesley, right?
Yeah.
Just as you're going through, you won't be
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
anything.
yeah, that's right. He's got the best of rock ballads, 83 in his ears, Bart. There for casuals, for just a casual stroll through Boston. So
That's right.
So for Danny, I think it was Mark that mentioned it. He mentioned obviously there's a lot of elite. I don't know if they're called professional runners, but the elite. Some people that they're the first class in the world. Are you looking forward, or would you like the opportunity to meet some of these individuals and sort of pick their brain, for lack of a better term? Like, I think that'd be a cool networking opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when me and Corey went to our first half marathon in Toronto a few years back, and we were just going out, and then I saw the elite runners from all over the world coming back after the marathon, and they just look like effortless. It was just like amazing how that group of people is just so good. So definitely, I'd love to meet a few of them. There's those elite people that will run in like 2:10, and then there's the professionals that will run in like in 2:30. Like the elite is just that much above everybody else.
Wow.
And it's crazy to see how an individual could push their body to that point. So yeah, definitely looking forward to meeting all kinds of people in Boston.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when it comes for training, obviously, we don't. This is obviously not Boston, right? What route do you take here in Northern Ontario, Timmins, to kind of imitate, the Boston, the type of terrain that you're going to be tackling at the marathon?
Well, like training in winter is obviously different than training in summer. So Boston, will be like we've only ran a handful of times on pavement, so that'll be a little bit tricky. But one thing that was good in winter is when you're training in winter and you're sweating, you don't want to stop because then you'll get cold. So you didn't stop, you just kept pushing. So that's what we have to do in Boston. You just don't stop and keep pushing, and we'll be at the end. So the winter training kind of helped a little bit for that.
Yeah. I bet. And, Mark, obviously, like you spend a lot of time running, obviously, and your runners don't last a year. I'm sure you guys are at whatever Sport Check or wherever, picking up a new pair. Is it like before the race? I guess you're insured, like the pair of runners you have is like 26 miles worthy. Do you buy a new pair a couple weeks before? Because then there's the break-in time, right? Like what's the strategy with the footwear?
Yeah, so well, everybody has a little bit of a different strategy, but for me, I've got a race shoe that I typically use, and this is going to be my third marathon with them now. They are actually pretty sweet, and they're really nice.
Yeah, you
They
know,
all have
probably don't
special
want
shoes.
the new
but-
footwear just in case blisters break out. No one wants blisters,
Yeah.
especially for a marathon.
But yeah, no. Typically, I'll use like normally a pair of shoes. I guess the unwritten rule is you can do about 800 kilometers with them, and then you should probably look to change them up to a new shoe. The shoe does break down after a while, so you can over time you'll definitely you could cause some problems with your feet. So 800 kilometers is something that's talked about out there. But I've got shoes that are that I've ran like 1,500 kilometers, 1,600 kilometers in it. I got some trainers that are I still using some of them now. So I don't necessarily go out and buy a new pair of shoes every marathon, but the one that I do have, like I make sure that they're high quality and they can last a couple of marathons at least.
Louise wanted to know which brand of runner.
I've got the Nike Alpha Flies. So the one that Eliud Kipchoge beat his 2-hour marathon, Mike, I have those ones. They're
You've got
beautiful.
those shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what allows me to close the gap with these guys. But they have shoes like that too now. So
that's right. Those aren't the ones in the bargain bin on 70% off, Mark. So if you're looking tomorrow, you can't get
the tongue and the sole don't come together. These are probably in better shape than our shoes. There, Claude.
It's amazing. There's a front pointy part and there's a back pointy part. So you're kicking pavement up.
I still like the old school Reebok pumps, but I don't think that's a fit for Boston. But and I'm wearing Crocs right now. Once again, not a fit. But now, what's the plan after, Corey? I'm gonna ask you this question because you're the guy out at minus. I'm sure all these other guys are out at minus 42, but they singled you out. What's the plan after the Boston Marathon? Do you take a couple weeks off to sort of let the body rest, enjoy the accomplishment, or you back out on the next right when you come back?
I think it's going to be tough to not go back out after a couple days, but I've sort of given myself after not stopping for a couple years. I think I'm going to stop for a good month after this.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe we'll see you at our full beard party on May the 6th. That will sort of fit in with your break. So there we go.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
we'll do it. Cheers again. It's just, as they say, it's just fun to get qualified and get into the race, and we'll end up cheers. And no matter where you finish dead last, we're still having a few better days here. You haven't tried those? Those are the new ones from Full Beard.
Yeah, Mark and I will share you our training for a Full Beard patio night. We got lots of tips to share.
Arm goes up, arm goes down, and then we
wear your favorite hat
throughout the night.
But do you guys work on balance though? Because you need to have both arms engaged.
And can you do it in minus 40?
That's called double fisting, Mark. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Darcy, I don't know if this is superstitious or not. Do you have a time prediction for yourself and the rest of the crew, or that's something no one talks about? Obviously, there's a time goal. I assume.
Oh yeah. We've talked about times. I'd like to do it in 3 hours.
Okay.
I'm not aiming for a personal best. Like my personal best is 2:55 something, but that's after training all summer, not training during the winter, right? So Boston, I think it'll be aim for 3 hours, have fun, enjoy it, so that you're not crossing the finish line where you're like, or the last 10K where you're just zoned in and just focusing on your legs. If you can have a little bit of energy for the end and just kind of enjoy the crowd cheering you on and stuff, then it's and if it's under 3 hours, it is. If not, well, it'll be pretty close, I'm sure, unless something really goes wrong. But it's not really. There's no superstition there. I think we're allowed to talk about it, and I think we can set that goal.
There's no jinx in talking time, I guess.
We're not the Leafs there.
Yeah, I love this Leaf. Usually it's pro Leaf on this show. It's a nice refreshing value here tonight. What's here for you, Danny? What's the one thing like you really want to take away from the race? Obviously the accomplishment, but is it going to be the chance to network, the chance to be with your good friends, your brother, right? Darcy and Danny are
identical twins.
Yeah.
Identical twins. There you go. Is a chance to an awesome experience with your brother. Like, what's the one big takeaway for you?
Well, me and Darcy did 2 marathons actually last October, and we ran the first one. We ran half together, And then I was just a little bit faster. So he's like, Danny, just go. Like, I can't keep this pace. So, anyways, we finished a couple minutes apart, both under 3 hours. And then Darcy really wanted to qualify for Boston, and me too, obviously, because the biggest marathon, and we just wanted to go so bad. So he tells me, he's like, Dan, I got another marathon in 2 weeks from now. Let's do it. I'm like, what? A marathon in 2 weeks from now? Like, who does that? So anyways, we did it because he wanted to just better his time just to make sure. And again, we ran half together in big winds, and it was a difficult course with the high winds. But anyways, again, on halfway, we had to break up there. But like Darcy said earlier, I think we're pretty on par right now, and it'd be really nice to cross that finish line with my twin. And just being in the other thing I just can't wait is just the atmosphere, the crowd just cheering on. Like the marathons we did here last year, we were with people for maybe 3-4 kilometers, then nobody, and then a couple spectators, and you only have like one guy just cheering like, and it just pumps you up. So when there's a million guys and there's girls with signs, kiss me and stuff like that, we'd have to stop.
Oh, there is.
Don't get distracted. So just like in hockey, they call them what, the puck bunnies. You got marathon bunnies hanging out. Looking for the athletes trying to distract you.
Yeah, that's why you want to qualify for Boston, Danny.
Well,
I want to add something to what Danny was saying, if I can.
Yeah.
So I think he would just want to rub in my face. He's always beating me by a few minutes.
He is,
Like,
for sure. We got
when
that.
we were born, keep in mind when we were born, he beat me by 5 minutes there. He came out 5 minutes first. So
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
I think he's in for some revenge there this time. He's gonna take me.
Well, there has to be a little brother rivalry, and there has to be like a little bit of rivalry between the group because it is want to be at the top of your competitive edge. So I think it's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, you know what? We're all super proud. Like the fact that we understand how difficult it is to qualify and the amount of time and effort and training and dedication you put into this. So we joke around, but we're really proud of you, gentlemen, and we know you're going to make Timmins proud. And one time we'll go there, Mark, and we'll be at the Fenway party. That's where we're going.
We'll be at the Fenway party. Maybe we'll sit at the finish line and watch them cross the finish line. We can be a part of that. But that also brings up a good question. Are you bringing any fans with you, or is just with COVID? Is it just hard enough to get all of you guys there with all the recent restrictions being lifted? Are any fans coming with you? Family members?
We're bringing some fans. I know Darcy and I are bringing my older brother Paul and my mom. So my mom with her 3 sons, she's going to be quite excited. She hasn't had a trip like that in a while. And then Corey, you're bringing some people as well. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm bringing my wife and kids. So
Nice.
it should be fun. And my in-laws are going to be joining us as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Nice.
It should be fun. It's quite the process to make sure everybody is fully vaccinated and testing negative before you leave, though, which is quite the logistics. And I got
that's
there you go, buddy.
there we go. Right. Obviously, that's Mark and I don't like to talk about the C word too much in the show here and everywhere, but that's a relevant point here. That has to stir up your stomach a little bit because you could be as prepared as you want, but who knows if you get, I probably shouldn't even be talking about it once again, superstitious with athletes, but there's a lot of parameters to get there. So it's a big sense of accomplishment once it's,
I was gonna say today, so I fly out tomorrow, but today we had to do our travel testing at Shoppers. So at noon we were there. And I don't know what it is, but all morning you're like, what, coming down with something. Your mind is playing with your head. Like, it's crazy.
It does.
Yeah. So we got there, and both me and my wife is coming with me to Boston as well, my better half. And, but so we were there getting our test done. And when we got the results, we're like, whew, okay, we're good.
Right. You're good now.
So you guys are going to do that tomorrow, I'm assuming, Corey and Danny and Darcy.
Yeah.
in the morning.
That's the most nerve-wracking part out of everything is just that test.
Yeah.
I bet.
Just getting
yeah.
the race.
Yeah, it's works. And the racing, now that they said 42 kilometers, which is the same thing, but it seems so much further now. That bump up from 26 to 42. It just seems longer, Mark.
It does.
Yeah. Do they run, so they run the marathon, but do they also run, they run half marathons at the same time and smaller races, or is it just the marathon?
It's all marathon based. Well, some of the majors have different types of runs, but Boston is pretty well just marathon. There are though different categories.
A 5K.
Sorry,
the day
Corey, go
before.
ahead.
There is a 5K on
on the Saturday.
on the
That's
Saturday.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's it. But a lot of the other marathons, like the big races, have many different distances. So they'll have like a 5, a 10, a half marathon, and a full marathon as well. But Boston's only the 5K and the marathon.
Yeah.
Paul,
I forgot about the 5K.
I believe you played hockey with my son. So I guess your older brother played hockey with her son, Sean.
I guess so.
There we go. Well, we'll have to check in with them. And
Lori wishing you good luck. A lot of people out there. Denise saying totally excited,
Wow,
super
that's-
proud
That's
indeed.
my mom.
there's
Yeah.
mom's super proud.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Well, make mom proud, and we already know you're going to make Timmins proud. And congratulations, guys. We know it's a long road to get there, and we'll be tuning. We're going to find them on TV, Mark. We're going to
On
turn
TV.
on.
Well, I was just going to
There they
say, with technology, are they like the bracelets? Can you follow in real time the tracking bracelets that they put on for the timers?
Yeah,
Or no?
there's an app. If you go in the App Store, you can get a Boston Marathon race app,
Okay.
and you can actually track various runners. So you
wanna
can track
you
us
guys.
all. So you just have to type in the runner that you want to track, and the name will pop up, country, city, and then you can pick
That's
that
so
person.
cool.
And then
Do you guys know what numbers you are? I guess you don't know until you get there.
No, we have them.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, bid
well,
numbers. Yeah.
So you can go track us, and you too could place bids on whoever and bet and have some beer.
Yeah, we will.
And-
I'm
That's
already.
right. Who's going to veer off to the Tim Hortons halfway or McDonald's? Hey, okay, there's Darcy. He must have blown a tire.
at
He's over
McDonald's.
McDonald's now.
Yeah, McDonald.
If there's a Subway, maybe Corey.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Me and you, Kinsman, we'll have to put a bet. I don't
Well,
know.
let's
I
after the
don't
show
know.
we'll get all the numbers and we'll keep track during the Boston Marathon, and we'll see if we can put a link up and watch the little GPS trackers going.
Yeah,
and
We'll
root
do
them
some
on for
inside
that.
bets.
Yeah,
Inside bet.
little side bets here. Who's going to finish first, second, third, fourth?
Who do you got, Kinsman? Then you're the one bragging about this.
I don't know. I don't want to jinx any of them here. I want them all to finish
Oh, you're taking
arms
that answer,
linked at
okay.
the end, all crossing at the same time.
You guys, right? Yeah, everything's pleasant and
But
happy
here-
and flowers.
But I'm gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna say just based on what you guys have been talking about tonight and how I'm gonna say Corey first.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Mark second, Danny
Oh.
third, and Darcy's gonna be coming behind there. He's
Best
gonna
for
be signing
last.
the autographs midway, saying, you know what, I'm
I'm
joining
bringing
the
a
band
Sharpie
here.
with me.
Darcy's gonna cross
Right.
lap.
Well, you've become my favorite,
Yeah.
television personality. Or
Yeah, there you go.
there's 2 decades difference between this dude and those guys, so there could be.
Yeah. I
almost
don't
likely
know.
to be the last.
Danny looks pretty driven. Like
yeah. They're fast.
He looks locked in. I mean, I think the brothers are talking nice, but I think if it's competitive near the end, someone's blowing by somebody. Okay.
Well, we didn't tell you a real strategy, eh?
Yeah.
Danny's gonna go hide behind a building, and I'll pop out at the finish line. So
That's
we're
right.
gonna get
He's gonna put the tracker on
We're
a
going to beat
truck.
everybody in the world.
Yeah, right. They do it in like 49 minutes. Yeah.
That's right. He's
Jimmy's
sitting at
guys.
the finish line, feet up in a lawn chair, lemonade in
Yeah.
hand. Hey, what took you guys so long?
What kept you? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Tremendous. All right, guys, we'll let you go. You're still in training. You don't have enough time to clown around with us all night, but we appreciate you coming on before the race. Good luck. We'll definitely be following.
We're
And
gonna track you.
yeah, it's awesome. We're super
Awesome.
proud of you.
Well,
Thanks so much for
All
having
right,
us.
guys.
Thanks for
Safe
having us.
travel,
Thank you,
and
guys.
we'll be rooting. We'll be your cheering squad back home here.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
Good
guys.
night.
Take care.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. Isn't that amazing? Like, we laugh, but these guys have been training for a significantly long time in these crazy temperatures we've been having this winter to
Yeah.
qualify, just to qualify for the
To
race.
qualify again, you got to hit a certain mark. And again, I don't know. I was saying, I wonder if people cheat to get it. Why would you do that and embarrass yourself if you can't qualify with the minimal time to get into a marathon? Why would you even put yourself through the torture of the actual marathon? Right?
Oh.
They'd probably be able to pick you out at the starting line.
Denise shared a link.
Oh, that's I guess that's for that's the link probably to the app that they were talking about.
Awesome.
But again, I want to track all their bracelets and their anklets, and let's see if we can put their GPS trackers on our screen during the race.
All right, Kinsman. We should. A lot of people are doing this, but hashtag Cinema 6. We're giving away a couple movie passes here shortly. But
Sonic, Lost City still in the theaters.
Yeah.
Father Stew, that one with Mark Wahlberg looks kind of funny. A lot of good ones.
You have to get to theater because you don't have Netflix, you don't have Amazon Prime. You're a big supporter.
You know what? Disney Plus is getting better. I'll have to say it is getting a little bit better.
You shouldn't. It's
again, I was indecisive. I didn't know if I was going to renew Disney Plus, and it was on the automatic renewal on my card. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm signed up for another year because it sucked it off the MasterCard. So I've got Disney Plus again.
Joanne wants to see Lost City. We saw Lost City. It was very good, and those who like to see Channing Tatum with barely anything on will probably be fans of that movie too.
That's right.
And Sonic. I haven't seen Sonic yet, but I hear it's excellent. Okay,
Sonic,
pal.
they say that one is good. Of course, Jim Carrey, whatever he does, touches turns to gold. He said, I don't know if this is true or not, true or fact, that this would be his last movie. I heard rumors that he is thinking of retiring. I hope he doesn't.
Joanne has Discovery, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Channel. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I have them all too. But there's nothing like a theater experience. Number one. All right, pal. Let's thank the sponsors, and we got some movie passes to give away.
Movie passes to give away. Yes, let's thank our lovely sponsors who keep us afloat here. And we're going to thank Imagine Cinema 6 tonight. Again, you can get yourself to the Secrets of Dumbledore. And there's Sonic 2 also playing this weekend. The Lost City. All sorts of good movies in there. And, of course, you can get all the theater times, get your seats, pick them from home at imaginecinemas.com. And if you type in hashtag Cinema 6, you'll get yourself in for 2 free movie passes tonight.
There we go.
In V&M Renovations, 705-372-3832. If you're looking for a spring, summer reno, well, Justin and Matt, they are your duo. They're experienced general contractors, property manager, and restoration company in Northern Ontario. Again, they do it all. Doors, windows, drywall plastering, interior, exterior, siding, tiles, even drone inspection, thermal imaging, and more. Give V&M Renovations a call. And check out their Facebook. They post their recent projects online.
Oh, sorry, Kinsman.
And Easter fun coming up on Saturday. Who's doing this? We're going to be down there. I'm going to take my little guys down there to this, 10 a.m. till 3. Speaking of little guys, he's asking me a question right now. Hang on, little man. You want to come over here? You want to come over and do the sponsors with Papa? Come on over here. Little Caden hanging over there. When it's a long weekend, they get to show up on a Thursday and have some fun with Papa. But the Easter Fun Day, we're going to be hanging out there 10 to 3. Beaver Tails, good old Ray. Shout out to Ray from Beaver Tails. Remember Lila from last night, Peach, our superstar anime artist? Well, he hooked their family up with Beaver Tails. How cool is that, Ray? Hooking their family up because he heard that she wasn't, never had one before. But again, Beaver Tails and all that fun happening on Saturday. Beaver Tails, he was there till 7 tonight, 11 to 7 tomorrow, and 11 on Saturday as well. Hang on there, little man. We're going to finish with Jackpot City here, okay? Where do you want to see what Papa reading here? He's going to take over the show, Klomp. We gotta teach him the ropes here. Jackpot City Gaming, Trudy Prue. They had their first in-person bingo session in the first time in 2 years last night, and it was a complete sellout. And again, they're back at it tonight. New renos. If you haven't seen the renos, we're slated to do their grand reopening very soon. So looking forward to that. And again, DAP Cleaning Solutions. How about Ann Drouin? Commercial cleaning excellence guaranteed. Cleaning service, carpet cleaner, janitorial service, stripping, waxing floors, windows, any other cleaning, sanitizing job you require. You can call 705-465-3500 and call your quote today. Mr. Caden, hang on. Let me see what Caden wants here. Caden, what do you want, bud? You want this one here? He's asking me to.
You're multitasking tonight.
He's asking me to flip a channel for him while we're in the middle of the show.
He's like, Dad, put it on Netflix. Well, Papa.
Well, yeah, you got to keep the kids entertained while we're doing the show, and that's the fun of parenting. And how about this? Hillbilly Customs, a new sponsor to our show. Custom slate and river tables, log end tables, coffee tables, dog beds. They even make walking sticks. Firewood as well. Camping season just around the corner. They've got hardwood, ash, birch, maple, oak, softwood. They've got the cedar, pine, poplar, and tamarack, kindling and bagged bark, property clearing, lumber milling and slabs. And again, check them out. Their phone numbers there, 705-288-1368 or 249-361-3511 to order your firewood. And I was just down at Plant-Based Marché today to check out the dream team, Roxy, Carly, and Sophie, dairy-free Easter bunnies. You can come and get them while they last. You can get themselves, a new bunny, which is, yes, if you have someone in the house that doesn't like lactose intolerant, these are perfect bunnies. 175 3rd Avenue, Timmins, 705-221-1755 today. And how about this? We were down at Albert's Sports and Workwear today, and Chantel, we were talking. We were originally planning to do our grand prize on Good Friday, but we said, you know what? Let's move it to the Easter Monday because they've got some Easter hours there for you. Of course, closed tomorrow, Saturday 9 to 5, Easter Sunday closed, and then back open again on the holiday Monday 9 a.m. to 5:30. Make sure when you're in there, fill out a ballot to win a free tank of gas. Fill up your tank contest. Also, the Kuma chairs. You wanted me to mention this? The Kuma chairs, camping chairs, are on sale, tax-free, for the Easter long weekend. So make sure you pick up a Kuma chair today. And the Timmins Rock awaiting their next opponent in the Eastern Division Finals. They, of course, wrap things up in the Eastern Division semifinals with the French River Rapids with a 4-game sweep. And in the other series on the other side, we're waiting for Hearst or Powassan. It was Hearst. They could have got through last night with a win, but it was Powassan getting Game 5 last night. Game 6 is now tonight, and they can even the series with a win. And of course, Hearst wins. We'll see Hearst in the division finals after Easter next week. And how about Boost? Boost in action from Link North. 50% funding contribution toward eligible project costs. Access to bank of consultants, business productivity assessments, new market development and exporting initiatives, information technologies, industry trade shows and events, new equipment and modernization, prototype demonstration, certifications and or testing. You can check out all the details at linknorth.ca. And if you follow Jessica West and Trezor Kombucha, she did that very thing, and she's put Boost in action for Trezor Kombucha, and the funding has done wonders for Jessica. And Mango Delight is down there with Darshan, saying hello to him today, 194 3rd Avenue in Timmins. 11 a.m. to 2. They're open Monday, Tuesday, close Wednesday, Thursday. They're open Thursday and Friday. Probably close Good Friday tomorrow. And then on the weekend, and you can get yourself a nice dish. Dine in or takeout available, 705-531-5315 to place your order, or dine in. They stress the dine-in experience. And how about this? Full Beer Brewing. We are the official back-of-the-head models for their new can of beer, Better Days. We got the call from the boys today. They said, hey, meet us at the Matagami boat launch. That's where we met them to introduce Better Days, their new lager. It's a new American light lager, 3.5%. So if you're a fan of the Coors Light, a fan of the Michelob Ultra Lights, the Michelob Lights, that type of light beer, this is actually a very tasty light beer. And again, Better Days, now supporting through our local Full Beer Brewing. And again, you can pick up your order today. And thanks to Jonathan and Benji, they dropped us off a few for tonight's show.
They're awesome over there, Ken.
Aren't they awesome?
All right, pal. Thank you to all our awesome sponsors.
That's right. Thanks to everybody who keeps us afloat. We love each and every one of them, and we love seeing their progress. You know, not only do they support us, we support everything that they do here at
right, pal. There we are. Nice red screen in the background. Okay, so we have to give away some movie passes. Are you almost ready?
Yes,
for that?
we are. We're going to give away some passes. Let's get my trusty clipboard ready to go. And we're going to reach out to Colin at the cinema, and we'll get that winner in charge with their 2 passes.
Right. Okay. So, and people know our names by now, so I can get rid of the name brand. All right, Kinsman, 2 movie passes every Thursday. Our friends over at Imagine Cinemas, Cinema 6, give us a couple passes to give away. And here comes your lucky name, Kinsman.
Who's going to the movies? It will be Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. Yeah, right on.
There we go. Ryan Beaulieu.
Yes.
Big supporter of the show. And again, he's over at AIM Recycling.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to Ryan for
right.
putting in to win. And 2 tickets to him. I'll get you in touch with the theater, Ryan. Maybe you can go check out an Easter long weekend movie.
There we go. I wanted to say a couple things. One, she's not on tonight because I believe she's out with a birthday celebration. Robin Allen, who watches the show, it's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Robin.
To Robin.
Yeah.
And it also happens to be my mom's birthday, who passed away almost 3 years ago. She would have been 75 today. So hope I'm making you proud, Mom. And we miss her every day, obviously. And I always tell people who are, telling me that they're arguing with their parents, I mean, make up now, because if you're having an argument with your parents, then your mom and dad or mom or dad are still here to argue with. And that's a blessing every day. So, and happy birthday to Robin. And good luck to our friends in the marathon. Maybe you and I, they want us to race, Kinsman. So
marathon. We're not doing any racing.
We can race.
We're watching. We'll watch them online. Their GPS trackers. That's what you and I will do.
Yeah. Happy birthday in heaven. You're right, Joanne. I feel you there. But to Robin. So that is that's a wrap. But maybe you and I can do like a half a kilometer race or something. We can go
half a kilometer.
The government complex by my house. We can do 1 lap.
I think maybe a half a lap, and then we'll drink these better days here.
All
for the other half.
All right, pal. You have a good night. They're waiting for me for supper, so I'm going to say cheers.
All right. Cheers to you.
All right, kids.
Cheers to your mom. And, she's watching down, proud as can be. And you go have yourself a good kickstart to the Easter long weekend, my man. And we'll be back at it for Sunday.
All right.
Esta canción te la dedico a ti, la que siempre está junto a mí. En las buenas y las malas, siempre bella y fiel eres tú. Desde el momento en que te conocí, sentí algo que nunca antes sentí. Contigo lo tengo todo, reina de mi castillo eres tú. Yeah. Me levantaste cuando estaba en el suelo. Tuviste fe cuando nadie en mí creía. Bebé, tú eres la mujer maravilla. Prometo ser tu Superman por toda tu vida. Tu sonrisa me inspira. Cuando me tocas todo se me olvida. Tus labios me sanan las heridas. Dueña de mi corazón, la que todo lo cambió. Una flor en el desierto y como lluvia bajo el sol. Dueña de mi corazón, contigo todo es mejor. Me calmas las tormentas con la magia de tu amor. Quiero protegerte, ser tu escudo. Quiero regalarte las estrellas. Quiero hacerte feliz, te lo juro. Quiero amanecer junto a ti hasta que yo me muera. Contigo todo es más divertido. Se van las horas sin darme cuenta. Eres como el aire que respiro. Dueña de mi corazón, la que todo lo cambió. Una flor en el desierto y como lluvia bajo el sol. Dueña de mi corazón, contigo todo es mejor. Me calmas las tormentas con la magia de tu amor. Esta canción te la dedico a ti, la que siempre está junto a mí. En las buenas y las malas, siempre bella y fiel eres tú. Desde el momento en que te conocí, sentí algo que nunca antes sentí. Contigo lo tengo todo, reina de mi castillo eres tú. Dueña de mi corazón, la que todo lo cambió. Una flor en el desierto y como lluvia bajo el sol. Dueña de mi corazón, contigo todo es mejor. Me calmas las tormentas con la magia de tu amor. Me calmas las tormentas con la magia de tu amor. Dueña de mi corazón. Esta canción te la dedico a ti, la que siempre está junto a mí. Dueña de mi corazón.